Welcome, Bobcat Nation. I am Sean Woody, proud principal of Louisa County Middle School. On behalf of the administration and faculty of Louisa County Middle School, I would like to welcome you to the All-A Honor Roll Banquet for the 2020-2021 academic year. We welcome you to a celebration of outstanding academic achievement. We understand the ceremony this year looks different from years past, given the challenges we all are facing with the pandemic. However, our students deserve to be honored and celebrated for their amazing successes. In any given year, such accomplishments by our students would demonstrate determination, an excellent work ethic, a positive mindset, and an ability to manage academics with other responsibilities, just to name a few. In addition to those attributes just listed, this year, our students have shown true resilience, grit, and tenacity for learning. Students, all of Bobcat Nation celebrates you. We encourage you to continue to lead the way in academics and to set goals to reach all of your aspirations. Parents, we also applaud you for your continued support and for your partnership along the educational journey of our students. We thank you for being a part of the ceremony and enjoy.
The purpose of the All-A Honor Roll Banquet is to honor the students of Louisa County Middle School that have obtained all A's for this school year. This outstanding accomplishment is one to be celebrated with your family and school community. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to academic excellence. At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Harper, who is giving the invocation.
I'm Amanda Harper, Assistant Principal at Louisa County Middle School. Please join me for an invocation. We come today with gratefulness. We are grateful for the talents, skills, and abilities that have afforded these students the remarkable accomplishment of earning all A's in school. We are grateful for the systems of support wrapped around each of them by parents, teachers, and community members. May this occasion be a celebration of the gifts of hard work, perseverance, determination, and grit. May each student being awarded today be filled with satisfaction for the good work that they have accomplished. For all things good and beautiful with which our lives are filled, we give our thanks today.
Bobcat Nation, my name is Henry Truzzi, and believe it or not, at one point in time in my life, I was in the exact same seats as you all are in today. And I personally want to congratulate you on a job well done. The All-A Honor Roll students. You guys have achieved academic excellence and surpassed all of your peers. And I am personally proud of you, and I want to say, job well done, and keep striving to be the best. So I've been in the Marine Corps for 10 years now, and like I said, at one point in my time, I was in the exact same place as you. Middle school student, figuring out life, and what happens next. You all have met the mark of academic success. All A's is a tremendous accomplishment, and it's something that every student should strive to be. But personally, you all are here today, not by your own efforts, but by those you have surrounded yourself by, which is a true testament of your character. So here's a little something about me. Believe it or not, I wasn't an All-A student. I was actually striving to be in the same place that you are today. But I can tell you this much right now, my failures in life, they're honestly what made me successful. I remember there was a point in time when I was in middle school, I necessarily was not the most popular student. I was not always on the A honor roll list, but it was always something I strived to do. You and your peers have accomplished something that only few have accomplished out of your peer group. And it's because of who you have surrounded yourself with. Like I said, I've been in the Marine Corps now for about 10 years or so. In my time since I've been in this part of this organization, I have seen and done things that my wildest dreams could not imagine. Many people ask me, where does my character develop from? Where do I get it from? It all started, honestly, as a kid in middle school and some parts of elementary school, in the same position that you all are in right now. Being a middle school student is such an important part of your life and your career and your journey. You know, many of us at that age, we don't know which way we're going to go in life. We don't know what we want for breakfast in the morning. But what you do here determines where you go in life. And I didn't realize that when I was in your place, in your position right now. And, you know, everyone would tell me these things, but it really didn't resonate to me until some odd years later. You know, growing up, my parents always instilled good work ethic and taking your responsibilities seriously. But honestly, it really doesn't click. You really don't understand exactly what they mean until later in life. No matter how many people stand in front of you and tell you all your responsibilities and the things that should be important to you, it really doesn't click yet. And I'm here to tell you that that's normal and it's okay. But one thing I will caution all of you to do is surround yourself by those who are like-minded to you. Don't be a part of the bad crowd. Be different. Dare to be different. Be above the status quo. It's okay to be different than everyone else. It's because you are different. And the only person you need to impress is yourself. Others around you may criticize you, may judge you for your accomplishments, but just know and understand that this accomplishment that you all have achieved today is very remarkable, and no one will ever be able to take this away from you for as long as you live. You know, growing up, I had these inspirations and dreams, and I used to have a dream board in my room, and I had all these goals and everything I wanted to achieve in life. But the biggest thing that really pointed me in the direction to my purpose were my failures. You know, growing up, I always wanted to be, a phenomenal athlete, and I would work day and night to perfect my abilities to perform on the basketball court, baseball field, track, football, you name it. And that was my focus. You know, my focus was very oriented towards athletics. And one day I realized, and surely enough, in the very same age group as all of you, I decided to try out for middle school basketball. I worked all summer long. I did the AAU, Parks and Rec. I did everything I could to prepare myself for that tryout. I worked tirelessly, day and night, sun up to sundown. And then one day that tryout, it came along, and believe it or not, I didn't make the team. That one failure in life is what brought me to success. Just because you fail at something doesn't mean it's the end, but otherwise it's the beginning. Learning through your failures and building up resiliency and grit is what drove me to be who I am today. If it was not for that failure, I would not have found that out. And the first question I asked myself is, where do I go next? And where do I go from here? What happened next was I asked myself, well, are my goals oriented to my purpose? And believe it or not, at first they weren't. I had goals that all of my friends were doing. I had goals very similar to my crowd. Everyone I grew up with, they were playing sports. They were phenomenal baseball players, basketball players, track, football, you name it. But that wasn't for me. My purpose was to be academically inclined. And no matter how hard I ran away from it, it always found its way to pull me back. And that's when I realized the amount of time that I put into athletics is the same amount of time I need to put into my academics as well. And that's what I started to do. And that's when I started to reap the benefits. First year in middle school, I wasn't an all-A student. Second year in middle school, wasn't an all-A student. Third year around, 8th grade, I set a goal and I achieved it. I never missed a day of school. I focused my efforts on what I wanted to do, and no matter what happened in my life, I stayed the course to achieve it. Success isn't measured by how much you do or how many trophies you may have. Success is measured by no matter how many times you get knocked down, how you get up afterwards, and that will determine how successful you are. All right, so I will tell you something that I am, the utmost proud of was once I started to create an academic foundation for myself and try to create a routine of studying when I was supposed to study and not out, playing basketball late at night. But one thing I did always set forth to making some sort of sports teams. And it wasn't basketball and it wasn't football, but decided to go ahead and give track and field a try. So tryouts came around and didn't really know if I was gonna make the team or not, but I tried and I gave it my best effort. I put my best foot forward, and whatever the results were, I would be okay with. So I went and I tried out for track back in middle school, and believe it or not, I made the track team. And that's really when I found out what sport was for me, because initially all the other sports that I tried out, and they really weren't, I was good, but I wasn't good enough to make the team. But track and field was something that, I didn't know a lot about per se, but it was something that struck my interest, and it was definitely a building block for becoming some sort of athlete as I progressed on through middle school and then even on to high school. A couple of obstacles that I endured through my journey, not just in the Marine Corps, but in life and even as a middle school student. I was a horrible test taker. I could never just show up to class and just take a test without any type of preparation. And that's when I learned, prior preparation prevents poor performance. So that was something I had to learn about myself, was that it's not just, how much information I can retain, it's how well I study it. And even to this point, even to this very day right now, is that I have to prepare myself very, very, very well before I take any type of test. And something that may look as an obstacle really was just another gateway for me to learn something new about myself. An obstacle isn't necessarily a stumbling block. An obstacle can also be a stepping stone, something that opens you up to new ways of learning and new ways of trying something new in your life. Just because you get faced with an obstacle, don't use it as a deterrent. Find ways around it, and if there's no way around it, find your way through it. So this moment and point in time in my life, I never got here by myself. Just like I told you guys before, surrounding yourself by those who are successful. And first and foremost, I wouldn't be where I am today without the love and nurturing and care that my parents provided me with. A huge role model in my life is my father. He instilled hard work ethic in me from the day I was born. He showed me everything I need to know about how to achieve success even in their darkest moments, how to achieve success even within your failures, and optimism. Always remain optimistic in everything that you do. Just because one door closes doesn't mean you can't open another one. And just being a part of sports teams, I found myself really following my coaches. My coaches were some of my greatest role models when it came to athletics. Coach Cutright instilled a lot of discipline in me when it came to learning your craft. Coach Mark Fisher, he was someone I truly looked up to as a football coach, and not only just a coach, but as a mentor of someone who represented the utmost amounts of resiliency. He taught me everything it took to achieve success, even when you weren't necessarily the best. He showed me how to set small goals and make them obtainable, and every goal that you set, you find some way to achieve it. All three of those men combined together truly showed me exactly what it means to be not only successful, but what it means to be a leader and a role model as well. Middle school for me was, it was interesting. I had great days and I had really bad days. Honestly, being a middle school student, being in the same shoes you are right now, you're really trying to find yourself. You're really trying to find out which direction to go in life. Trying to figure out which crowd you belong to. I know and I understand there are cliques, and you're popular with this group one day and you're popular with the next one day. But one thing I can assure you is that the popularity and the status quo that you guys are surrounding yourself with right now, it does not last forever. This is a very small point in your life, but this point in your life determines where you go from here. I want you to think of it like a web. The spider web has many different branches, but it all roots back to the center where the web began. And if you could look back on your life 10 years, 15 years from now, look at the type of middle school student you were. Look who you surrounded yourself with. And I guarantee you, it may seem like it's a far ways away, but 10 years from now, you will be able to revert back to a point in time in your life as a middle school student, and you will find out what part of that branch and that web you came from, what obstacles you endured that shaped who you are. Who did you surround yourself with that you branched off into becoming the person you are? What characteristics did you take away from your teachers, your friends, your family, your circle? But most importantly, more than anything, is that you are responsible for your own path. It didn't matter what kind of life I had in middle school, whether I was the most popular or the least popular, I was still responsible for the person that I became. I was once told that you are the captain of your fate and the master of your soul. The only person that stops you from determining what you want to do in life is yourself. So it doesn't matter what the environment or the culture is like. You, first and foremost, are in control of yourself. And one day may be a really great day, one day may be a really bad day, but all in all, it's going to help you build resiliency and tenacity. And with those two things, you can achieve and you can accomplish anything. It doesn't matter what the obstacle is or what's in your way. Don't strive to be the most popular. Strive to be yourself and sticking to yourself and being true to yourself. So Bobcats, let's wrap it up. A couple things I want to leave you guys with today is keep striving for excellence. What you have accomplished, I'm very proud of, and you should be proud of too. Your teachers are also proud of you as well. Continue to do the right things, even when no one's looking. Continue to surround yourself by those who are successful and that have like-minded goals as you do. Your teachers are there for a reason. Keep listening to them. Even though they may not say the most favorable things, they may not always have the popular opinion of the class, they're there for a reason. Continue to learn from them and continue to grow off of them. They have the full trust and confidence of your parents, your principal, and the entire community. So they are there to support you in all of your needs, because you, believe it or not, will be our replacement someday. So we will continue to invest our time and our efforts in you to make sure that you can be the best version of yourself. The only person that stops you from being successful is yourself. Know that you can achieve anything in life, even when the odds are not in your favor. You have set the mark, and you set the bar high for yourself. So from this day forward, you should always be progressing. So always forward and never backwards.
closing, it is an honor and a privilege to have the opportunity to speak to you about such an amazing accomplishment, all A's this school year. You all have displayed such grit and perseverance. Robert Collier said it best, "Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out." With the challenges of this school year, you have continued to show us all that with hard work and dedication, we can and we will.